Hey, so this is the conversation before I run off and go and sleep in the middle of the day, and I don't mind. And it looks a little overcast, which means I'm one of those people that love to sleep to the sound of rain. So I wanted to talk about priorities and also just understanding where we are. Can we have that conversation? Okay. So I'm going to start off with something insightful but crazy. I don't know if you've heard about dollar billionaires and millionaires, especially in the US of A, who have asked their doctors whether they can set up like private ICU and containment centers in their homes so they don't have to mix with the rest of us who might have Rona. And when you see the numbers being projected from the US, you probably understand that there are people who are like, I want to be with those people. But we finally live in a world where your money can't buy you anything. And I don't know whether that has ever been possible. Because even if somebody wanted and was able to build you your own facility in your mansion in LA or in your amazing apartment in Manhattan or in Muthaiga or in Runda or in Karen, the question is, number one, how? Where is the manpower? Number two, where do you get the facilities and the equipment? Because right now, anything that's being created around this illness around the world is going first to governments to help them combat this disease among the masses. So you and your need to be able to have your own facility for you and your family, you are not a priority on any level. Which also brings me to some of the things that, we all need to be cognizant about. I don't want you to accept it. I want you to know it. This is about knowledge. I saw the other day conversations around, why aren't we not putting up more ICU units? And why are we not doing this? And why are we not doing that? We can. But the conveyor belt and the manufacturing and the delivery process that delivers these things is overloaded. As a friend of mine said, the world supply chain is almost broken. So even let's say we had the money to buy another 4,000 ventilators. What is the order time? Let's say we could actually put up another 20,000 ICU beds and units because you need the contraption. What is the order time? What's the lead time to buy every unit? And I don't know whether you've ever been inside an ICU or HDU unit. All those components don't come from one. It's not a kit. Huh? You don't get a box and then you assemble it. This is about knowledge. It's just understanding. So, I'm very cognizant of the fact that the one thing we can do is stay home and not attend meetings at Manzoni, because between not infecting one another and saying we want more ICU beds and more ventilation units, the easier thing to do is not infect one another. When you begin to understand what the lead time is to be able to place the order, for the order to be created, and remember, you're not the only one ordering. Korea is, Singapore probably is doing a second round, Italy is, Spain is, France is, the US is, Canada is, everybody is. And where are you on the supply chain? Your order is order number. If you are tracking it on Amazon, yako iko wapi? So I just need you to understand what we're looking at. The other thing I want us to understand, and I know this was shared on 3 of the WhatsApp groups I'm on. And one of the people who actually said, no, pay attention is Dr. Mohammed, and very good friend of mine who said, do you guys understand this? Do you know how to tell your friends that the numbers you see today happened, days ago? And I know I did it in another video, but I loved the way he put it. And then I shared it on Twitter and somebody said, you must quote the source. I'm like, okay. On WhatsApp group number 1, it came from Mohammed, and then it was shared again. On WhatsApp group number 2, it came from Emmanuel. and then it was shared again. And WhatsApp group number 3, it came from Daisy. So those are my sources. I know this thing is running around on Twitter, but I think what is important is understanding that what you hear Mutahi Kagwe announcing every single day is not the numbers are bigger today. No, he's giving you the results based on our actions 14 days ago, 20 days ago. You can't do anything about the past because this is a truth. The present is the past. We live almost in a Star Trek parallel universe whereby what you're living today happened yesterday, happened last week. Okay? But what is important about that is understanding today is tomorrow. And then tomorrow is now. Everything we do now will decide what numbers we hear next week Monday, next week Wednesday, next week. So we will not know what we reaped in benefits from this partial lockdown and the curfew for another 14 days, maybe 20 days. Because that's the world we now live in. And understanding that everything we do now, we will only know the value of it. We who live in a world of instant gratification will only know the value of it in 14 to 20 days' time is so important. So I understand the fatigue, and it's a mental and bodily fatigue, bugs under my eyes, but we've got to hold on. And I think I said this before, Kangum, just buckle down. We got to, because what we're hearing today is the result of our actions 14, 18, 20 days ago. What we want to hear going forward, you know the way we keep saying flatten the curve? The only way we can do that, because the curve moves ahead of us, is to ensure that everything we do today gives us what we want tomorrow. That really for me is it. I know that Mutai Kagwe answered some of my questions, like, how many more beds do we have? What is our facility? What is our preparedness? How many more people are we training? Is it possible to ask, how much money we've received and what we've done with it? I'm still a citizen. I still want to know those things. And what help do you need? How can we help? A fundraiser, I'm not sure I'm there yet. I'm not sure I'm mentally there yet. I still think government could do better, but I'd like to know how we can help. I really would like to know that. So for me, this was just about understanding that we live in a world where, number one, it doesn't matter how much money you have. The only thing that matters anymore is the air that you breathe. I mean, what? God's fresh air. Remember we used to talk about that? The entire world is placing an order for the same thing. The whole wide world is placing orders for the same items. So we can either be concerned about what happens and how many ventilation units have we ordered and when do they get here, or we can still do the thing we need to do to ensure we don't need ventilation units or ICU beds or stuff like that. And then also understanding that the numbers we're hearing about today were put into play days ago, and the numbers that we'll be hearing going forward have a lot to do with how we act today, tomorrow, because our tomorrow is now. I mean, what a world we live in. I'm gonna go and rest these bugs right after I finish doing that. You know those things you've been asked by a client 3 times to do? I've got one of those. And I won't sleep if I don't finish it, because I'm one of those people, it runs in my head, so I gotta finish. And then I'll talk to you soon. You'll be good. And you tell me what you're watching, because I'm looking for new stuff. I'm also going onto Coursera, because I plan to come out of this thing with a few new skills. Yes, I do. Take care. Mwah.